Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is going to be the 27 challenge in 30 days of React JavaScript. So here you can see we have another problem statement, which is you are tasked with implementing a simple authentication system in a React.js application using a custom hook called useAuth. The useAuth hook should handle user authentication and provide the necessary functions and states. So by using the useAuth hook, we have to create a React component that uses the useAuth hook. The component should display a login form with name, email, password, and a login button. Show a welcome message and a logout button when the user is authenticated, and display a loading message while the authentication status is being checked. So if you're new to my channel, make sure you like and subscribe my channel so that you don't miss the awesome videos. So I've already created videos on custom hooks. You can find the link in the video description, and please watch it before proceeding further. So for your reference, you can navigate to the Chrome browser and you can just write reactjs custom hooks and navigate to the official documentation, which is react.dev. So you will get a reference that how custom hooks works and what is the use of custom hooks. So basically, in React.js, custom hooks are JavaScript functions that allow you to extract and reuse stateful logic from the components, and they have certain rules which they follow. Custom hooks can call other hooks if needed, and custom hooks should start with the word use keyword to follow the naming conventions. And custom hooks can take arguments and return values just like regular functions. So instead of returning JSX, we should always return the values. So let's get started. So first of all, we will create React arrow functional component export, and we need some states. So for that, I will import the use state for that, and now we will create one use state for the name input, and initially it will be blank string. Okay, same, we will copy this, paste it here. We will write email final state to be set email. We will write password, final will be set password. Now we will modify our JSX. So we will write section dot landing section. We will write div dot row dot container. Now we will write div dot form, and inside form I will write one h1. We will write please login. Now we will make some input box. So I will give the class name mb3 margin bottom 3. Now we will write input tag type text, and value will be name, and on fire of on change we will pass a callback function, and we will update the final state set name to e dot target dot value, and we will write placeholder enter your name. We will write class name form control. Same, we will copy this div, paste it here, and second input box we will write type email, value will be email, final state will be set email, and in the placeholder we will write enter your email. Same for third one, we will write type password, value will be password, final state will be set password. Now we will create one button, and inside we will write login. We will pass a onClick function, and we will write handle login. Now we will give a class name btn success. Now we will define this function const handle login arrow function of JavaScript. So now we will make some conditions, like we don't want that if the user hasn't filled anything and if he try to submit the form, then we have to show the error. So you can say that it is a kind of validation also. So if I navigate to my server, which is localhost/challenge 27. Okay, so I think something is wrong. So let me check the request module, provide an export name default. Okay, yeah, now I will see something like this, and I think something is wrong. btn success. Okay, our class name is wrong. So now it looks fine. I will zoom out the screen and I will give one class name to the please login. So I will write class name landing heading. So now it looks something like this. Yeah, so currently what we want, let's suppose if a user hasn't filled anything and if you click on the login button, so we should show some error like without filling anything you can't proceed further. So for that I will create one check. I will check if name.frame or is not equals to email.frame. So I'm trying to get the values or password dot frame. If these three are not included, I will console.error please fill all the details, something like this. Okay, and we will return. So now if I try to click on the login button without filling anything, you will see one error, please fill all the details. So our first check is completed. Now we will validate our email. So I will write validate email. So now we will check with the regular expression we have. So we have this regular expression which checks for the email. Now I will make one check. I will write if email regular expression dot test. It will check for the email, and now on the basis of that we will print the error. So console.error again, we will write please enter a valid address, email address. So we are going step by step. First we have implemented for the blank fields. Now we are checking for the email. So on the final we will return our statement. So let's suppose if I now try to fill, let's suppose if I fill the Ritvik and Ritvik. Okay, in the email I have not included @gmail.com. Okay, I think the password is we have to modify the placeholder for that. So I will write password. So now if I try to fill test and console.log, you will see please enter a valid email address. Okay, so let's suppose if I write @gmail and if I log in, the error will get printed 2 times, please enter a valid address. And if I write gmail.com, then nothing will get printed because now my Gmail is correct. So that is something we have implemented the validation for Gmail. Now we will check for the name length, validation for name field. So we will write if name dot length is less than 3. Okay, if it is less than 3, then again we will print one error that name should be at least 3 characters long. And now we will return the statement. So now you will see, let's suppose if I write RI only. Now if I try to log in, you will see name should be at least 3 characters. And now if I write RIT, which is 3 characters, then the error is not getting printed because now it is not less than 3. So now we will check for the password. So validation for password field, we will write if password dot length is less than 6. If the password length is less than 6, then we will again print the error. We will write password should be at least 6 characters long. So let's suppose in the password section, if I write 2 characters and if I try to log in, you will see password should be at least 6 characters long. And let's suppose if I write ABCDEFG. Now if I try to log in, then the error will not come because it will passes the check. Okay, because password dot length is greater than 6. So now if these 3 passes with the validation, now we have to authenticate the user. So for that we will create one variable. We will write authenticated is authenticated. We will call one function login and we will pass name, email and password inside it. And now when the user authenticated, we will empty the states. So for that, we will write if is authenticated is true, then update the final state, set it to blank string. Same, update the final state for the email to blank string, set password to blank string. Else we will print the error, authentication failed. So that is something. Now here comes the main part. We have to make a custom hook for this login function. So for that, we will navigate to our folder which is custom hook, and inside you can see I have already created the use local storage, use form and use API, and I've already created videos on that. You can go and watch it as I told you. So I will write useauth.jsx, and here we will create our authentication. So we will write react arrow functional component export. We will remove this JSX part, and here we need two things. One is the use state and one is the use effect when component mounts. So for that, we will create some use state. We will write user, final will be set user, and initially it will be null. Now we will create one other state, loading and set loading. Initially the loading will be true. So now we will call this function which we have defined here, which is the login one. Here you can see we have this login. So we will copy this function. We will write const login. It will accept three things as we have passed name, email and password. We have to accept name, email and password here. We will write if these three are present, name, email and password. We will write const. So we will extract the user data. So we will write const user data is equals to email and name. So you can use a name also for printing user.name, something like this. So I will update the final state to user data. Now we will update the local storage. So we will write local storage or set item user json dot stringify user data. So it will update the local storage. Now after all things done, we will return the statement true, else we will return false. So same, we have to create the logout also. So we will write logout, const logout arrow function of JavaScript. We will write set user null, and we will clear the local storage. So we will write local storage or remove item user. So now after this, we will make one use effect, and inside use effect we will write const stored user is equal to local storage dot get item user. And now if the user is present, we will write if the stored user is present, then please set the user to json dot parse stored user. So whenever the authentication is success, user will navigate to the page. He or she can see the name by user.name. So that is something we have used a use effect for getting the item from the local storage when the components mounts. So now after the final statement, we will set loading to false, and we will remove this cleanup function. We don't want this, and we will also remove this third parameter. So now instead of returning the JSX, as I told you, custom hooks can take arguments and return values just like regular function. We have to return user. One is a login, one is a logout, and we will write is authenticated. Authenticated is not equals to user, and other one is the loading. So our custom hook is ready to use, and you can use this logic to any other React component where the authentication is needed. You can modify this logic on the basis of your needs. Now I will go back to my code, which is challenge 27, and here, and we will accept user login logout is authenticated loading from useAuth. Okay, so now we have to modify our JSX. For that, below this container we will create one div and we will write class name form. We will write h1 dot landing heading, and inside we will write welcome user dot name. We will make one div deflex and inside we will write logout. We will give an on-click function logout, which we have defined in our useAuth. We will give btn danger as a class name, and I will give one more class name justify content center, and we have to use conditional rendering. So we have to show this welcome user dot name and logout only when the user is authenticated. So we will use the ternary operator of JavaScript ES6 feature, and if it is not authenticated, then we will wrap this div inside this check. So now our logic works fine. And one thing more, we have to wrap the loading also. So we will write if it is not equal to loading, and then only we will show these things. So now if the status is loading, then we have to show the other thing, like let's suppose if it is in loading state currently, write one h1 and inside we will write loading. We will give one class name landing heading. So by doing this, if I navigate to my browser, you will see something like this. Now you can see if I try to log in without filling all the details, then I will get one error, please fill in all the details. Now let's suppose if I write ri and ritvik@gmail.com, and if I write password as 6 character. If I try to log in again, I will get name should be at least 3 characters long. So now if I write Ritvik and password will be 2 characters only. If I try to log in, password will be 6 characters long. Now if I remove this ritvik@gmail.com, just write Ritvik, and let's suppose if I write the password as 6 characters long, if I try to log in, it will say please enter a valid email address. And if my all the credential matches, now if I try to log in, you will see welcome Ritvik. And if I click on the logout, then I will log out from the session. So that is something. You can also modify this part of code, and instead of writing the console.error, you can use the React Toastify. So for that, you can navigate to React Toast and just go to the first link, React Toastify npm package, and navigate to the GitHub repository of that. So you can just navigate to the official documentation, check the documentation to get you started. You will click on it. So React Toastify is primarily used for displaying toast notification React application, and you can see here it is easy to integrate into React application. You can quickly add toast notification without writing any complex code, and also they provides a range of configuration options allowing you to control the behavior of the toast. And this also include options like auto close. We have these transitions for different types of toast, such as we have the success, we have the errors, we have the warnings also, and same we have the info also, and each type can have its own styling and behavior. So you can use this. So for using this, what you can do, I just reload this website. You can use this command npm I react toastify, and it will install your toastify into this. So I have already installed. You can see here yarn add react toastify, and if I hover to my package.json, so you will see we have this react toastify. So how to integrate this, you can just go to this GitHub repository, and you just import these two statements into your React application. Okay, and just copy this toast container component and paste it below the container, and over to the documentation, and I will give two things. For the top center, I will copy this attributes and paste it here. I will decrease the auto close, which is 1500 ms milliseconds. Now instead of using the console.error, what you can use, you can write toast.error. So you will see toast, just change it to toast.error in all of them. So now you will see something like this. So let's navigate back and I will reload my application. Now let's suppose if I try to log in without filling all the details, then you will see the first error, which is please fill all the details. Now if I write Ritvik, again Ritvik in the email also, not including @gmail.com, I will write password, and if I try to log in, you will see please enter a valid email address. So if I write gmail.com and just remove the characters from the name, and if I click on login, you will see name should be at least 3 characters long. So let's suppose if I write Ritvik and decrease the password length, you will see something like this. Password should be at least 6 characters long, and if all things will be okay, you will navigate to the welcome Ritvik, and same you will log out. So that is something you can use this application, and you can use the logic which is a useAuth. You can use this logic in any other React application, just you have to modify this on your basic needs. Okay, so you can also modify this part of code. You can add some more CSS and try adding some more fields and try adding some more functionalities. So we have this validation also, and we have a custom hooks logic for managing the authentication of the user. So that is something. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any doubt regarding this, so let me know in the comment section. And till then, thank you for watching.